Good morning. Again, my name is Dan O'Brien. I am the General Manager for HTC Vive for the Americas region, and thank you for coming to CES 2023. So it's great to see you guys all here. It's great to have the crowds back. Taxi lines filled. Feels good. Feels normal. But we're excited, about what we're about to share today and our company's perspective on where XR is and next generation connectivity technology, and how this is all going to come together to bring huge benefits to businesses, consumers, over the next several years. So there's a lot to come. So we really want to focus on our brand this year. We really want people to understand, what does our brand actually mean? Technology and innovation, imagination and creativity, humanity. Everything that we are doing is actually very purposeful. Over the last several years, every decision we make, every product that we have produced, every software solution that we have produced is to fulfill this promise. But we ask ourselves, why? Why are so many companies, industry analysts, and technologists excited about the metaverse? The metaverse could be explained very simply, and there's a new dimension of our current internet, but we think it's actually going to democratize access to information and allow people to see, interact, and have collective experiences that they wouldn't otherwise have, regardless of their location or their economics. So there's a lot about the metaverse. Is it a real thing? There's been a lot of confusion, a lot of people trying to explain what the metaverse is. Is it real, or is it owned by one company? Well, we don't think so. But we think there's tremendous opportunity. A company, Citi, actually did a study where they believe the economy for the metaverse could be worth anywhere between $8 trillion and $13 trillion by 2030. Some have actually projected even more. Regardless, it is a massive opportunity. And since 2015, the HTC Vive brand has been very purposeful and targeted in all of the products that we have made to solve very specific immersive adoption issues around friction points for consumers and for businesses. And we have been doing this by creating products and solutions that bring our customers real value, solving their problems, bringing them great entertainment, not making our customers the product. The opportunities are significant for consumers, businesses, developers, and partners. So just talking a little bit more about what have we actually gained, what have we actually learned, and how have we actually delivered on some of our promise in the last couple of years. What we've learned with immersive solutions and the products that we have put in market is kinesthetic learning styles. Whether you're doing training, simulation, or education, it has been very significant. We're seeing over 400% faster to train in the classroom, 275% more confident to act on what you've actually learned, over 3 times more emotionally connected to that content, which is really, really valuable, and then 4 times more focused than e-learners. These are significant strides in actually benefiting humanity. These are all things that are tying back to our purpose and why we're actually developing the products and solutions that we're doing. But the proof points get even better. When we see retention rates, we are seeing that immersive learners are retaining information at about an average rate of about 75% versus 10% for reading or 5% for lecture style. So unfortunately, you're only going to remember about 5% of what I've said to you today. But really some more significant areas, one of the areas that we have jumped into really heavily as a vertical is healthcare. Healthcare, we can do so much to actually benefit our users. And a study from the Yale University School of Medicine found that their immersively trained surgeons were able to do their surgeries 29% faster with 6 times fewer errors. And that was with legitimate gallbladder removal surgical procedures. This is significant. I actually want the doctor that has 6 times fewer errors rate, okay? Now, we also have some partners in the room. One of those partners is Holoride, and they have been a tremendous partner with us for a long time. They are actually focused on bringing XR entertainment to the automotive industry. And if you haven't seen their product here at CES, I really encourage you to go out and try it. The Holoride uses the Vive Flow VR glasses, And they've developed the software that matches the VR content to the movement of the car so you don't have any nausea effects and you actually have a great experience. So unbelievable partner solving a really, really hard problem. You know, I look at the early days of locomotion and we just were solving the problem of moving around in VR. They've taken it to a whole nother level of how can we solve it while we drive around. So big difference. Another company, MindVR, has taken senior care for healthcare living for senior citizens and senior care centers to a whole nother level so that they can actually have a better experience and better outcomes for their customers and for their patients. We've also seen the launch of products like the Vive Focus 3. Now this is the de facto product right now for the LBE market, location-based experiences. So anybody that's running experiences from large theme parks all the way down to family entertainment centers has actually pretty much all settled on the Vive Focus 3. Its ergonomics, its performance, its tracking, its overall comfort and fit and hygiene solves every problem for that market better than any other product out there. So this has been a great growth area, and at other shows we've actually seen over 30% increase in experiences and number of products that are being used over there. Now, looking at then and now, you know, looking back, I see some people from, you know, HTC that were around in the early days when we had base stations and really, really complex solutions. But achieving scalability in VR is a very ongoing process that requires advancements in infrastructure, hardware, software, and content. But the infrastructure is actually super critical to the miniaturization to the point where users can actually interact with content in the metaverse. To go from headsets and wall-mounted base stations, VR-ready PCs, to the Vive Flow glasses, to look at what's next. We need advancements in infrastructure, hardware, and content creation, all working in tandem. And in terms of hardware, the entire industry is working to shrink down what used to be bulky headsets to all comfortable wearables and light, easy-to-use products. Now, looking at what we're going to do next, we believe the future of HTC Vive and immersive technology is a connected world where users have access to all genres of content across platforms, accessing information and education. We have more access to more education, more information than we ever have before. This content needs to be consumed on devices, platforms that support openness and interoperability. And you know, you've seen the proof points and how we've been able to achieve this on the business side, and the B2B side, and the professional verticals. But today we're here to talk about consumer industry and consumer products. So I'd like to introduce Shen Yi to introduce our next generation product.
Hi everyone. So thanks, Dan. Hi everyone. I'm Shen, Global Head of Hardware. Oh, Global Head of Product now. That's something I need to get used to. Thanks again for your time today. We're really excited to all be here and really share you our most innovative launch to date. So to really see where we're going next, cast your mind back to MWC 2020. This is where we unveiled Project Proton. This was us looking to the future of XR, right? How a new form factor could drive new experiences, right? Striving for that perfect balance of design and technology. Vive Focus 3 was kind of related to that development path in terms of the technology, and then we also saw an evolution of Proton through Vive Flow in terms of that design. And we learned a lot about both of those products. And now we're really excited to show you our next consumer flagship XR device. It's lighter, it's more compact, highly portable, super versatile, and with a powerful XR experience. This is Vive XR Elite. So this is VIVE'S Elite. Thank you. This is VIVE'S Elite. It's our most versatile XR device to date. It's great for gaming, fitness, entertainment, productivity, the metaverse, and more. And you heard me correctly. Gaming is a perfect way to use this device. It's an all-in-one headset that's great for consumers. Let's take a closer look. So we set ourselves the task of combining the best of Vive Focus 3 and Vive Flow to create VIVE'S Elite. It's a big challenge because Vive Focus 3 was for enterprise, while Vive Flow addressed a new category that was interested in ultra portability. And VIVE'S Elite does not replace either device. It sits firmly in the premium consumer XR space. It's lightweight, it's portable, comfortable, and a powerful all-in-one, which is perfect for standalone experiences, and also can be connected easily to a PC for PC VR experiences. And we have physical controllers as well as hand tracking built in. And of course, part of the name comes from it being more than just VR. We have a full color RGB pass-through camera for smooth mixed reality experiences. This opens up a whole new dimension. You can learn new skills like playing a musical instrument, play games that incorporate your natural surroundings, having some environmental awareness if you're in a more passive experience. And for those who want to do work, you can have multiple virtual screens while still having real-world access to your keyboard and mouse. And there are so many ways to use MR. We have developers here who are really excited about the possibilities of incorporating MR and VR in such a compact device. And here from the side view, you can see that we had this really balanced design with the battery at the back acting as a counterweight, and we'll talk a bit more about that shortly. We considered the design a lot in terms of the fit. And there are benefits of having a head strap over the top, but it also makes life a bit more difficult for people with different hairstyles. Right? This approach is far more inclusive and generally also less annoying. I've said it's compact, but what does that really mean? The first reason that's really important is immersion. Immersion isn't just about the visuals or the graphics. It's the whole experience, and that includes comfort. Weight and weight distribution is key. With the center of gravity aligned to where your neck is, it means that you can turn your head effortlessly. It doesn't feel like there's something hanging off the side of your head. And weighing in at just 625 grams, including the battery at the back, that's lighter than the current generation of iPad Pros. And with this comparison, you can see how our innovation has pushed the limits of what's possible and just how different this form factor is. And the next question that you'll naturally have is, what can you even fit inside that compact frame? We'll start with the visuals. So the visual impact here is sharp and fluid. With a wide 110-degree field of view, 2K per eye, that's 4K in total, and this results in a really crisp image running at a smooth 90 hertz. It's one of those things that you have to really experience to really truly appreciate, and especially the comfort as well. And I hope everyone here gets a chance to try it today and also in the coming days. And of course, to ensure that we have a light and compact headset, we're using our own special pancake lenses as well as custom LCD panels. All of this is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 platform. And it also comes equipped with 12 gigabytes of RAM. Our heritage from the smartphone days means that we all know how to get the best out of all of our components. And our thermal management has always been excellent. And that was evidenced with Vive Focus 3, which also used the XR2 platform. And we've evolved lessons there when it came to thermal design, with things like really high efficient copper heat pipes and a lot of other clever tricks as well. And finding that visual sweet spot takes more than just good specs. We have an adjustable dial on both of those lenses to allow people to just take their glasses off and still enjoy a sharp picture. It's worth noting what I said about accessibility earlier. Most VR and XR headsets don't have adjustable diopters, and often don't even accommodate glasses wearers at all. As an industry, we have to continue to break down those barriers for users so we're not forcing them to have uncomfortable experiences. We've also built in adjustable IPD sliders to help you optimize your experience as well. You can see we placed it on the outside of the headset, and that makes it easier to find the best settings for you because you don't have to remove the headset each time you want to adjust it. There's also a fabric gasket that's removable. It's magnetically attached, so you can just take it off to clean it or just switch out a new one. So what about the tracking? This is an all-in-one. So we have 4 wide field of view cameras powering our incredibly precise inside-out tracking algorithm. We built on the success of Vive Focus 3, which is used everywhere from medical to training to arcades, where tracking is vitally important. Vive XR Elite comes with industry-leading tracking with exceptional 6-DoF spatial accuracy. And of course, we'll have hand tracking enabled for both MR and VR experiences, and we're working with developers to integrate it into their apps. That's not all. If we zoom into the center, you'll see 2 sensors. One is a depth sensor, and one is a high-resolution color RGB camera, which adds that whole new dimension of immersion. The depth sensor will also help with accurate tracking, positioning, and also help scan a 3D map of your surroundings. And this works with the color RGB camera to deliver next-level mixed reality experiences. And those mixed reality experiences and those use cases are increasing rapidly, whether it's for gaming, arts, education, or productivity. And we're at this point with technology where we can incorporate VR and MR cameras to work really smoothly together. As I said, for input options, you can use either physical controllers or hand tracking. And we have the same controllers here as we had for Vive Focus 3, which we've had great feedback about. They're comfortable to use, they have a really intuitive layout, and most importantly, they have excellent tracking. We also have the benefit of minimizing our environmental impact by using the same manufacturing processes. You can even use Vive Wrist Tracker, which we built for Vive Focus 3, and this allows you to have enhanced hand tracking, but also allows you to track other objects in XR as well. For example, tracking props inside a game. And you're going to get an experience with that at CES as well. When it comes to audio, we've taken audio to another level. We've made improvements to volume, bass, clarity, balance in terms of the EQ, audio directionality. It's also half the distance to your ears compared to Vive Flow. And all of this adds up to a better clarity in any XR experience and really adding that next level of immersion. We've also equipped it with dual microphones with both noise and echo cancellation to capture crisp input for effective communication. And as I said, let's revisit that battery. Like Focus 3, it's placed on the back of the head for the perfect weight balance. And it's curved for optimal comfort as well. And it's also removable and hot swappable, which you can change it to another power source or just switch it to a different battery. You can expect up to 2 hours of full and active use off a single charge, and it also supports 30-watt fast charging through USB power delivery. We've also heard how much people love the form factor of Vive Flow because of the flexibility it gives. It's especially great for things like traveling. You can use it on a plane or even at home on a couch because you don't have to have a battery pushing your head forwards, affecting how you sit. So we're bringing that to Vive XR Elite as well. And in this configuration, the glasses weigh just 273 grams, including the face gasket. Simply remove the battery and fit the arms, and there's a USB-C connector on the other side, which you can plug into a power source like a battery bank or even just a power adapter. It needs a slightly more powerful battery than Vive Flow, but your standard 18-watt power delivery battery bank will work, and it's commonly very available. So with Vive XR Elite in this form factor, you have true portability and the versatility as well. It's also great for PCVR gamers. So if you're doing things like flight simulators or racing simulators, because in this lightweight configuration, it makes longer sessions even easier. So we've also made another step forward from our patented dual hinge design, as well as extending the arms and the curve of Vive XR Elite to help cup the head, just like the front and back of a traditional all-in-one. But you also just feel less pressure pressing on the side of your head and avoids putting all the pressure on your nose as well, and also accommodates even more head sizes. It adds even more comfort and options for how you can use Vive XR Elite. So that also means that we have this foldable hinge that you can simply fold it up and store into this carry case, and you can carry around with you. Similar size to a Vive Flow or a water bottle, just slightly bigger. And a device is more than just the technical specs and the hardware. It's about what it can do, how you have fun, what you can create, how you can work. We're working on bringing even more games and experience to Viveport, our content store. And this is the biggest range of launch titles we've ever had, with over 100 new pieces of content in our launch window, with a mix of newer experiences and games, and also the classics. We're bringing new VR games, like Hubris, and new MR modes to existing content, like Maestro or Unplugged. And of course, you'll be able to access PC VR content as well, seamlessly from Viveport and Steam VR as well, either connecting through a cable or wirelessly through Wi-Fi 6E. So you can have the best of both worlds. Once paired and connected with a PC, you'll be able to launch PC VR titles directly from the headset, and that means you can have access to this huge library of VR titles and content with low latency and great graphics. It can still stream from your Android phone to XR Elite. From a phone that supports Miracast and HTC 2.2 for protected content, it means you can have a private 300-inch screen that anywhere, anytime, that can stream content from the likes of Disney Plus and even Netflix. You can stream content from, like in games from Fortnite on your phone as well. We're also revamping our launcher space, make it easier and more immersive from the second you put on Vive XR Elite. You'll dive straight into ViveVERS, which is our place in the metaverse, and from there you can simply slide around to other worlds and experiences. In Vive XR Elite, you'll enter your room, this personal two-story social space. This is where your adventures will start, and you'll be able to move objects around and customize how they're laid out. You'll have a simple living area to hang out and invite your friends, also a bookshelf that you can launch your favorite XR titles and games and experiences. Or you can glance over there at the gallery on the wall, which you use as portals to new worlds. And to help with keeping that work-life balance, you can go to the second floor and check out your agenda for the day and join meetings directly from there. We'll be making more updates to ViveVERS in the coming months. So for people who want to work in VR, we have an MR experience that can help their productivity. It's super easy to dive straight into XR, into a meeting, or even just do some work. Vive XR Elite, you can have partial MR or full MR Office, and it's got it has intuitive touches like simply defining a virtual table. And the visual quality is good enough that you can even see the details of the screen on your laptop or even your phone straight through the headset. And I also want to talk about HTC Vive's commitment to corporate and social responsibilities, especially when it came to making Vive XR Elite. One of the biggest leaps we made is in the packaging. It's 100% recyclable, made from 99% recycled materials, and all of that is 99.99% paper. And that 0.01% there is literally the plastic that's in the sticker seal keeping that box together, because you can't really make that out of paper. So the big question is, how much does it all cost? For the powerful and versatile Vive XR Elite, the full kit comes with the headset, battery cradle, 2 controllers, and will cost $1,099. Pre-orders will open up today, and we'll have various offers available across different regions of the world. And I heard the woo, yeah. It's cheaper than all the random rumors. So we'll also have enterprise pricing available in the future, and we'll have more on the enterprise side at Mobile World Congress. And we're really excited to see the future of XR. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone with one thing. Vive isn't interested in your personal data. Our business model isn't built on advertising. The organizations that rely on vacuuming up personal information and slicing and dicing it to advertisers, their plan to growth is harvesting more and more personal data. And the more personal data a company has, the more others become interested in how they use it, and that's an increasing liability. And none of these companies will ever tell you how much your personal data is worth. If you want to sell your personal data, that's fine, but you should be given full information and a fair price. So we hope to see everyone here coming back for demos and see just how good Vive XR Elite is. And we have a ton of developers here as well, and every single one of them, the first time they put on Vive XR Elite, has said, this is the lightest and most comfortable headset we've ever worn. And I hope everyone gets to try that out.
All right, well, that was an exciting unveil. I think you guys all see how amazing this new hardware product is. What I'm going to talk to you a little bit more is about the software and the platform side. Because no matter how good the hardware is, if you don't have good content, if you don't have reasons for people to go on it, it's not going to be successful. So before we talk about that, let me back up a little bit. I think we should all be very, very thankful that we're in a very special time in terms of where we are in technology and how it's affecting our society. Right? I mean, we have technology in gene tech that's helping making our bodies healthier, making us upgrading who we are, what we are. We have artificial intelligence that's helping make our brains smarter and answering any question we can imagine. We have clean energy breakthroughs that are coming out that might give us unlimited energy for free. Right? And then we have the metaverse and XR and the things that it's going to do to upgrade our society. I think all of these are really key technologies that are all coming together and all going to create a better world for us. And I think that's something that HTC really values. That, as Dan mentioned in the beginning, we're really about helping create a better humanity, a better space, better world for us to live in. So let's get to this metaverse topic, right? It's been a very hotly debated and discussed topic for the last couple of years. And I do want to emphasize this picture that we're showing, because if you see, this is a picture of somebody walking to the metaverse, but they're not there yet, because the metaverse doesn't exist yet. Right? So all those people that says we have a metaverse or we are the metaverse, they're kind of blowing a little smoke. It's going to take a few years for us to get there, because a truly metaverse, the way that Neo imagined it, is something that is open, something that allows every world to be interconnected and for anybody to be accessing it. And that's something that doesn't exist today, but that's something that we want to create. So what is the metaverse? I mean, there's a lot of people debating. You ask any expert, they'll give you a different definition. And unfortunately, I think because there's so many definitions, there's too much confusion out there. And I wanted to give a definition that you guys can actually remember, because I think only can you remember it will be useful as a definition. So the way I look at it is, it's the internet that we've been building for the last 30, 40 years, but the 3D version of that internet. Right? And it's something that's powered by AI, because without AI, we wouldn't be able to use and create the content to be able to do all the sensing, all the hand tracking, all of the world scanning. All of that depends on AI. Right? And interface through XR, because having an immersive XR experience is how you get the most value out of the 3D environment. Now, I know that for the next few years, most people will probably still use a 2D device, a phone, a laptop, an iPad, whatever, to enter a lot of these 3D worlds and 3D spaces. But the ideal experience is to use an XR device. Now, we talked about the open metaverse, right? The open metaverse, what it's going to do is it's going to roll back a lot of the issues that the 2D internet has created, all of the social network issues of echo chambers, of fake news, of all the dopamine rushes of making people go click on buttons or likes. Right? We want to get away from that. We want to give people deeper experiences, something that actually brings them into worlds and allows them to experience the virtual world like they do the real world. But it has to be open. It has to be something that allows anybody to access it. Now, so we've been very focused on having an open metaverse, and in fact, we did a survey recently, and 7,000 people responded. We were asked the question, if you could be in a world that is, very high fidelity, high quality, but it's closed, or you could be in a metaverse that is, common ID, common assets across multiple worlds. Which one would you prefer? And for the people that responded, 7,000 people, 75% of them said, even if it's a slightly lower quality, I would actually prefer having that openness and having that ability to be fully accessible across any device. Right? And in fact, for people who use VR daily, the active VR XR users, it's even higher, 85%. So essentially, 5 out of 6 people who know VR, use VR, they prefer an open metaverse. Now, this is why we've created something called VIVE'S. I know you guys have heard about it for a while. It's our term for essentially kind of our vision of what the future metaverse will be, and our toolkit to enable that metaverse to happen. And it's something that I think will help anybody create the worlds that they need and be part of that metaverse that we all deserve. So having an open metaverse solution involves a lot of different components. It has to be something that is device agnostic. So whether you're on, a Vive device or a non-Vive device or a laptop or iPad, you can still get onto this system. Right? It has to be based on open standards so that once you've created it, it works everywhere. It's not about making something that only works for Vive. That's something that I think I really have to emphasize. And Vive is a company that sometimes I think prioritizes social good over company good. We were the first ones to provide the Vive port and have it be open to every single piece of VR XR device out there. It took us so much effort to build together those thousands and thousands of content, but we said, hey, we would want to share that with all the other device manufacturers because we want those users to be able to access the best content. And we've taken that same approach with what we're doing with VIVE'S. We have our VIVE'S world creators. Essentially, anybody that goes on VIVE'S.com can have their own little world and customize it. We have avatar makers that help them make the avatar that they would like to represent themselves. Wallets that allows them to take content across different worlds. And we also have the market system so that once you've created content, you can actually maybe even sell it and make some money off of it. And guardian systems to allow parents with kids to make sure that they're protected, that they're in a safe environment when they go into this metaverse. So there's a lot of content that's being created. I think you saw some of the stuff that Shen mentioned, and there's a lot more that's in the pipeline that's even coming. But the VIVE'S that you just saw, the version you saw from Shen was really the kind of the built-in version that we put into the new Vive XR Elite. But what's I think will be more usable by most people, because not everybody can get access to that type of high quality product, is something that will work on any device, something that is web XR based. That's something that's the VIVE'S.com is going to help. Essentially on any XR device you can access it, on any 2D device you can access it, and allows you to create the worlds that represent you and then populate it with your own content. In fact, that VR space, whether in this VIVE'S version of it, or the WebXR version, or the one that's built into our hardware, you can invite your friends over and have that shared space, shared experience. You can watch, have a watch party. You can just have a chat. So it becomes something that you own, that you can bring your friends to, just like your real homes. And we talked about the avatar system. We actually have 4 different ways for you to create avatars, from simple little cartoony avatars to ones that represent you, like your face, to ones that you can actually upload from VRM models from third parties or you've created in other applications. So you can see there's such a variety of content, such a variety of forms and function that you might have. In fact, you may want to have multiple avatars, because as you go to different worlds, you actually want to have a different version of you. Just like when you go to different events, if you go to a professional event versus going to a social event, you're going to probably want to look a little bit different. And that's something that we provide. And by the way, most of our avatars have legs, which is a little different than some of our other competitors out there. And in fact, not only can you create your own avatars, you can also go to people like VRroid, who've created high quality anime avatars, and they've made it available on their markets, and you can purchase it and upload it directly into your VIVE'S. Another partner that we're announcing today is Sketchfab. They're the largest library of 3D objects in the world, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of objects in their library. And by a push of a button, once you go inside VIVE'S, you can actually go and select their objects, upload it directly into your virtual world, and build the world that you want with the objects that you want, and size it. And by the way, it's free. Right? So that's something that I think will really make world making accessible to a much larger population. And the more people are using it, the more valuable it is, just like any other network. Right? A network is the square of the value of the nodes in it, square of the people using it. And the more people using it, the more exciting it is, the more reasons for you to come back. Our own internal studio, Beat Day, they're making a concert environment inside VIVE'S to allow the celebrities and stars and performers to be able to create worlds and create activities for people to come either live or pre-recorded. We're also announcing our partnership with Warner Music to create a VIVE'S world where they will have live performances and interactions with their idols and stars. The Little Prince, I'm sure you guys have read this story or heard of this story when you were a child. That is going to be reimagined inside VIVE'S and accessible to the world coming later this year. And I think we talked a little bit earlier about education and how valuable education is and how functional it is inside XR. And we've been working with Engage for some time. In fact, we're one of their investors. And for you to really be able to experience an environment, whether you're doing practice and doing speaking, doing events, going to Mars and trying to experience what it's like to be a astronaut, right? Those are kind of things that by reading a book or watching a video, you just can't get the grasp. So, that's the kind of stuff that we're working with them on, and we're excited to welcome them to do more activities inside VIVE'S with us. In terms of fashion, we're actually now working with Elle and powering their Elleverse. So, earlier we talked about essentially users creating content and content creators creating content. Now it's actually enterprises creating content using our platform, using our stores, our tools, so that they can then service their customers better. Another case of that is actually Etisalat from the Middle East, one of the larger carriers there. But they're essentially creating this virtual environment, virtual world for their customers, their subscribers to go and play games, to socialize, to see their newest products, to see entertainment, right? All inside a virtual world powered by VIVE'S. So we're actually now not only helping people create content, we're helping businesses create worlds. In fact, we're doing the same thing for China Mobile, which will also be released later this year. And one of the, I guess, most exciting announcements, and my last announcements of the day, is our partnership with Lamina One. Founded by Neil Stevenson, author for Snow Crash. You can stand up and wave to everybody. I'm sure Neil has a lot of fans here today, and you guys all read his book. In fact, he's the reason why the metaverse, the idea exists, right? So to have the creator of the metaverse concept partner with us on this VIVE'S project and using their Lamina blockchain is such an exciting time for us. I think we have a very we've talked multiple times, and we just had that shared vision of creating that open metaverse. Because at the end of the day, it's not about creating a wall garden where you try to get the maximum value out of your customer, and that's what a lot of companies are doing. What we want to do is to create solutions that help the world build a better metaverse together. So as you can see, we're not just creating games. We're not just creating education. We're really going across the board. Partnering with an entire community of developers, of customers, of partners, to be able to create that full universe, the full experience that people are looking for when they go into the metaverse. So this is something that we're really excited about, and our team's been working really hard. In fact, Joseph's here. He's the head of our VIVE'S team, and his team's been working so hard to make this happen. So we really see the VIVE'S as a gateway into, as a doorway, essentially, into this new spatial internet, right? The spatial internet is not something, it's not a fad. It's not something that will go away. Maybe the hype around the term metaverse might be a little bit less in a few years, but the idea of a 3D-based internet is going to continue. It's inevitable. It's going to happen, right? So we're just making sure that we want to help that happen as fast as possible because we see so much value from it. It's going to be something that gets rid of borders between countries, between people, helps people be able to understand each other and communicate better, and help us reduce our resource takes from the planet. So it's something that's really good for society if we use it properly. So thank you for joining us today, and I think I'm able to take some questions.
Yes.
Okay.